Welcome to Beginner Pilates for hip and knee arthritis. Grab your magic circle and your resistance band and have a lie down on your mat, or you can have a lie down on your bed if you have trouble getting on and off the floor. That is no problem at all. We're going to place the magic circle or towel or cushion between your inner thighs to do some inner thigh work and pelvic floor. So lying down, we're going to start with the pelvic floor contraction. So that's a squeeze and lift like you're stopping the flow of urine, and then squeezing the inner thighs together, holding here for 5 seconds, and then release. Good. And just check that you're not getting tight through the muscles at the front of the hips, the hip flexors. We want to keep that all nice and relaxed and keep the tension in the pelvic floor and the inner thighs. Good. And release. So keep going like this. We squeeze and lift pelvic floor first, then the inner thighs turning on, keeping that nice strong squeeze for the whole contraction, and release. Good. And again, so pelvic floor's turning on. It's a squeeze and lift. Holding here through the inner thighs, keep it on strong. And when you release, make sure you release the pelvic floor all the way as well. That's just as important as turning it on. Squeezing again and hold 2, 3, 4, 5 and release. Good, and we keep going like that. So these muscles are so important for your hip. Studies have shown that if you've got weakness in these muscles, you're more prone to developing hip arthritis. And it's also really important if you've got knee arthritis, because this gives support to the inner side of the knee. And we want to make sure we're giving our knee 3D support around the whole joint, front, side and back. Good, so we've only got 2 more to go after this one. Squeeze and lift, pelvic floor, inner thigh squeeze, holding, keep it strong for your last few, good. And then last one, turning it on, squeezing, hold, and release. Good work. Okay, so then we're going to grab our resistance band, or you can use a dressing gown tie for your waist, because we're just going to have something to resist the knees going outwards. So tie it just above the knees on the thigh. We're going to work our glute muscles, which are really important for supporting hip and knee. So lying back down again, from here, we're going to rotate from the back of the hips to take the knees out into the band, holding here for 5 seconds and then bringing it back in. So rotating out, and again, we're keeping relaxed through the front of the hip, through those hip flexors. We want our glutes working, not the front of the hip. So rotating out into the band, happening all, just visualize it happening in the back of your hip socket and coming back in. And again, rotating out. So we aim to feel a little bit of burning happening through the glutes. If it's not happening straight away, that's okay. Rotating out again, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, and coming back in. If you notice a bit of shaking, that's okay. Just aim to make it smooth. That's going to develop some nice control through your hips, which is going to help you move with better knee alignment. So when we're getting in and out of a chair or going up and down stairs, if we have better alignment, we're going to be more comfortable through our knees. And this is a key that's often forgotten when it comes to arthritis rehab. Good. And coming back in, we've got 2 more to go. Rotating out through the hips, holding here. Keep it going strong. Coming back in. And the last one, rotating out, holding, and then coming back in. Great job. Keep that band on. We're going to go straight into some banded glute work. So from here, we're squeezing through the buttocks to lift the hips up in the air, and then we lower back down slowly with control. Good. So when we're doing this, what you want to watch yourself for is that you're not arching through your back. You may notice that you get a bit of a sore back if you are arching, so just check yourself if that's happening. And we just want to keep that straight line through the body. So squeezing through those glutes, pressing through your heels, and then coming back down. So if you notice you're cramping a little bit through your hamstrings, you can get around that by pressing more through your heels, or by focusing on squeezing those buttocks instead of through the hamstring. So really give a bit of extra oomph to those glute muscles. If you're still having problems, then you don't have to go so high. So you can just do a half height bridge. So squeezing And lifting, that's our half height bridge. If you want to see, still squeezing through the glutes, you still get a good workout, but you just avoid the strain. And you can do that if you have a sore back as well. So squeeze and lift, really focus on clenching those buttocks as you go and back down. And you've just got a little bit of tension out into the bands. We've got 3 more to go. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and coming back down. And 2 more, make them good, really squeeze those buttocks, pressing through the heels. Good, and lowering back down. And last one, squeeze and lift. Keep strong through the buttock, make sure you're not drifting down through your bottom. Good, and lower back down. Great job. So now we'll remove that band and go into our next exercise, which will be working the muscles on the sides of our hips. So we're going to lie on our side for side lying leg lift. You can use a pillow, but I'm just going to rest my head on my arm. We've got our bottom leg bent and our top leg straight, and we're lifting it up, flexing through that foot and holding it there just above hip height, and then lowering it back down. So when you position your top leg, just make sure you're taking it a little bit further back than you think it needs to be, because we tend to accidentally bring it forward. So we want to feel it working in the glute muscles on the sides of the hips. Just make sure you're not rolling backwards. That's another thing that people tend to really do as a compensation for weak muscles. So I like to roll forward slightly so I can really get into those glute muscles on the side. Good, so holding it there just above hip height and lowering back down. Keep that foot flexed, and I like to think of turning my toes down slightly, like I'm lifting from my heels, to make sure I'm really getting into those glute muscles. And down. Good, lifting it up again, holding it up there, try not to let it drift downwards, and lowering down. And again, lifting up and hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Good, 3 more to go. If you're getting tired, just see if you can still really give it a good effort. And down. And 2 more to go. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. And last one, make it a good one. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Okay, we're going to roll over onto the other side, and I'm just going to give you a different angle here so you can see what I mean about having that leg slightly behind. So I'm taking it just slightly behind my body and lifting it up. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. And again, lifting, holding it, and see how I've got my toes pointing down slightly as well, and down. Good, and again, lifting, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. And something you can watch yourself for is just keeping a little bit of a gap through the bottom of your lower waist, kind of like a little mouse hole from the cartoons. We don't want to be sagging into our lower back. If you think of the mattress commercials, you keep that straight spine. And down, good. And again, so these muscles are super duper important for hip health and also for our knees. So when we talk about getting that 3D control of the hip and knee joint, this is working the outer side. So we've already done inner side, and now we're doing outer side. Good, lifting it up and holding. You might notice that you're still feeling the glute on the other side, even though we've stopped working that one. It just means it's helping out a little bit because the top one's having a little bit of trouble, and that's okay. Good, and down. And we've got 2 more to go. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lower slowly with control. And last one, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lowering back down. Great job. So our next one is working our core muscles. So we're lying on our back, we're turning on through our pelvic floor and tightening through our lower belly, drawing it to spine. We lift the leg up to, we call this tabletop position, then straighten it out long and low by keeping our tummy in strong and then bending it back to the start position. So as you go out, really tighten down through the tummy, like you're bringing belly button to spine, and then bring it back in. We don't want the tummy to bulge. So you don't have to take your leg this low. It's perfectly fine to do it a little bit higher, just whatever you can tolerate. So just making sure that the tummy's not bulging. So reaching out, so you can just keep it there at that sort of height if you like. Don't mind me swatting the bugs. Lowering out long and low and coming back in. 3 more to go. Hold and coming back in. Try and use your breath, so you breathe out as you go out and then breathing in as you come in. And last one, out and in. Good. Swapping legs. So we hover that leg up to the tabletop position, we tighten through the tummy, stretch that leg out long and low, and then bringing it back up. If you ever get cramping in your feet, you can flex through the foot or the toes. I'm cramping in my foot a little bit here today. Reaching out long and low and back in. So whenever you go out, you're just making sure you're tightening through the tummy so that the back is supported. Reaching out and back in. So just check yourself for any bulging through the tummy or any arching through the back. That's 2 things we're wanting to avoid. Reaching out long, coming back in. Use your breath, breathing out, and then coming back in. 2 more to go. Reaching out long and low, tummies in tight and in. And last one, out and in. Good work. Our last exercise is straight leg raise. This is working the muscles at the front of the legs. So we tighten through our knee, press the back of the knee down into the floor, then lifting it up so it's approximately in line with your other leg. Hold, and then we lower it back down. So really tighten through that thigh, pull up the kneecap, then lift the leg up. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lower back down. And again, so tight through that knee, lifting it up. Make sure that knee stays really straight. And lowering back down. So when we talk about 3D muscle control of the knee, this is working the quadricep muscle at the front of the knee, which is really important for supports. It's going to help you going upstairs, getting in and out of your car, that sort of thing. Lowering back down, good. And coming back up. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're getting a bit shaky, that's okay. It's a sign you're getting stronger. Lifting up again, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Good, we've got 3 more to go here. Lifting up, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, lowering back down. 2 more, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. We're going out with a bang with this one. A bit of an incoming duck alert. I don't know what happened, but that duck just got the zoomies. Good, and back down and swapping over to the other side. So we straighten out through that leg, tighten through the kneecap, lifting the leg up in the air, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lowering back down. Good, and then we go again, lifting it up and holding, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lower back down. So you may notice one side is harder than the other. If you've got a sore knee on this side, then this is likely to be your weaker side. It's an important thing to notice because a lot of the time our pain is coming because we have asymmetries in our strength, and when we can address those asymmetries, we can feel a lot better. So when we have pain, we tend to avoid using that joint or putting as much weight on it. That just happens subconsciously, but now we need to consciously help make up for that weakness to help that knee feel better again. Good, so we've only got a few more to go here. Our last 3, so tightening through that kneecap, lifting it up, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Good, 2 more exercises, then we're done, or 2 more reps. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lowering back down. Good, last one, lifting up. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lowering down. Well done. So you've just finished your Beginner Pilates for hip and knee arthritis. I hope you enjoyed the class. Feel free to leave any comments or questions below. And if you're looking for more support or information, you can join my free Facebook support group, Knee Arthritis Freedom. Hope to see you there.